And finally, let's meet Keisha Taylor with the American Cancer Society. Keisha, welcome. We're so glad to have you on the show. Can you tell us just a little bit about yourself and how you found your way to working with Relay for Life?
Sure. Well, I am the local American Cancer Society representative for Brunswick County and New Hanover County. I'm a community development manager, so I do fundraising events for the society. I've worked for the American Cancer Society for just about 2 years now, actually in the next couple months. I started out in the Dallas office, actually, and then just moved to the Wilmington team back in August.
Very good. So you came from Dallas and just moved to this area just a little while ago.
Yes. My family is in this area, and I figured after being away for about 5 years, it was time to get back to my roots.
Time to come home. Well, we're glad you chose here to make home. I know that the community is enjoying having you here.
Thanks.
I think, first of all, Relay for Life is coming up.
Yes.
So let's start with the basics. When and where?
Sure. So it is Friday, May 4th. It'll be at West Brunswick High School, and it will be from 4 p.m. to midnight.
Okay, and that's a shift, right? The past couple years doing it on just Friday night, 4 to midnight.
Yes. We've changed from the overnight time frame, trying to be a little bit more accommodating. People just have a lot more going on in their lives now. So we found that it's difficult to keep people overnight. So we're looking to shorten it and keep people energized throughout the entire time.
Very good. Well, I've heard good feedback. I know last year I think that was received really well in the community.
Yes.
How did you get involved with Relay? I know you said in Dallas first, but was it kind of a personal passion?
Yeah, well, I lost both of my grandfathers to different types of cancers, and I have many friends and family friends that have battled with the disease. So I actually started relaying in college and had always kind of been a dream to work for the American Cancer Society. Didn't start out my career in the field, but was lucky enough to get in Dallas.
Very nice. Well, I know everyone around the Relay for Life community that I've met shares such a passion for their work or their volunteer work.
Yes.
and what Relay is all about. So tell us a little bit about the event. We talked about when and where, but I know there's always a ton of activities going on as well. It's much more than just walking around a track. So maybe for somebody who hasn't been before, can you share a little bit about that?
Absolutely. Well, we'll have our different ceremonies going on. So we always have our survivor lap first, where we honor and recognize survivors and caregivers. And then we have our luminaria ceremony, where people will light the bags that they dedicate in honor or in memory of a loved one. But this year we're going to have some live bands, so we're really excited to be having the Back Porch Rockers, Lockwood, and the Bad Alibis, I believe is what it's called.
Nice. Sounds like a lot going on. And there's usually a ton of good food, I remember, as well. Is that still the case?
Absolutely.
And crafts and vendors and some of those kind of things as well?
Yep. Different live performances from some local dance groups or things like that is what we're working on. We don't have the schedule perfectly ironed out for entertainment, so we'd love to have some people volunteer if they have an interesting act they'd like to perform.
Sounds good. Sounds good. The Survivor Lap is always such a neat part of the event.
It's very powerful.
And that's it. Just any survivor in the community can be a part of that. They just sign up for relays.
Absolutely. And to us, the survivor is anyone who is battling cancer. They're a survivor. They've survived their diagnosis, and they're surviving every day after that. And even going through treatment, they're surviving their treatments. So they don't have to feel like they've won, the disease to be considered a survivor for us. We want to honor them and recognize the battle that they're going through and show them that they're not alone.
Yeah, I appreciate that so much. It's such a great perspective and a neat way that I think the American Cancer Society thinks about it. I know it's a fundraiser, so let's talk about how the funds raised that night. It's fun. It's a fun event, number one, but it's for a good cause. So how do the funds get used? What can people expect of that?
Well, the American Cancer Society is fighting cancer from every angle. So we are funding and conducting life-saving research. We're promoting healthy lifestyles and helping people take steps to prevent cancer or to find it at its earliest, most treatable stages. And we're providing everything from emotional support, cancer information, and even insurance advice to free rides to treatment and even a free place to stay when the best course of treatment is far from home. So we actually have a 24 hours a day, 7 days a week telephone line at our 1-800 number that is manned to help offer those services. And our cancer.org is available with a plethora of information as well. But more specifically here in Brunswick County, we actually have a really good growing and expanding Road to Recovery program, which is where we have volunteers who help us get cancer patients to and from their treatments. So just in the past year, we've gone from 7 drivers in this area, that was in 2016, to over 30 drivers in 2017.
That's awesome.
And those drivers have helped us to be able to give 1,300 rides last year alone in New Hanover, Brunswick, and even now Pender County.
That's great, and that's such a valuable service. I think, you know, anywhere, but Brunswick County is a large county.
Yes.
And it often does involve driving to receive care, and we have people with transportation challenges.
Yes.
So, and even someone, you know, balancing a diagnosis like this, I think that would mean so much to take that pressure off, that concern and worry.
And oftentimes people don't realize it's not something that if you have a treatment, it could be, you know, every single day of the week, and it's not something that family members could take PTO for that.
Right.
So we have volunteers, and we're always looking for more drivers if somebody is willing to just simply drive a cancer patient to and from treatment. It's really powerful to be able to give that type of service, and it's a one-on-one connection with that survivor.
Yeah, I can imagine that would be a very fulfilling experience for the volunteer as well. Well, before we wrap up, I want to make sure that you've talked about some great things that people can do. So I want to be sure we kind of finalize with how can people volunteer, how do they get involved with Relay, what's the best way to connect in with you?
Well, the best way to register is just to visit our website, which is relayforlife.org/BrunswickNC.
Okay.
And so when you pull that up, it has all of our information about our meeting dates and all of the activities that we have going on. And you can just click Join This Relay, and that'll be how you register. That is how our survivors register as well. So even if they've registered in the past, they definitely need to go ahead and register again each year. But if they don't have access to a computer, they can dial our 1-800 number, which is just 1-800-227-2345.
You did that well.
Thank you. I say it a lot. Someone will be able to assist them with getting registered.
Okay.
We also have paper forms that are available, so at our different meetings, we're able to provide some of those, and we send those in and can get those put in.
Okay, wonderful. And what if somebody's interested in volunteering maybe with Road to Recovery or one of the other services? Will those same channels be able to get them to the right folks?
Yes, absolutely. So what will happen is when they speak with the representative at the 1-800 number, they'll let them know, you know, what they're interested in, and they'll be able to connect them directly with me.
Perfect. Well, great. Thank you so much for joining us today and for the service you're providing to our community. We
It's a pleasure.
appreciate it.
Thank you.